Alright, and welcome to Let's Play Wargame European Escalation. I'm DigitalAdhesive, and I will be playing the Warsaw Pact again on this familiar map. Now, I've just been dinking around trying to become better at this game, and the thing that sucks about playing an RTS, especially one that's been established for a while, is you are always behind the curve. You're playing catch-up, because these guys have been playing for a long time. And I'm playing against someone who's level 76. I'm level 14, and I don't really care about winning. Of course, I want to win, but mainly I want to get stars so I can unlock new vehicles. And I just played this game, about 20 minutes ago, and I'm going to play with neutral view, as always. Now, what I wanted to do was I had an idea of taking some special forces and putting them in a helicopter and bringing them all the way back here, maybe dropping them in the woods, because most people leave their backfield, I've noticed, pretty wide open. They might have some AA defenses, maybe some ATGM launchers, but not much else. And I was thinking, if I could cut this guy off, make it so he can't reinforce from here, he'd only have Bravo left, and I could maybe stack some forces along here and really kind of squeeze him. It'd been an idea I've been toying around with for a while. But what I forgot was that I only get a certain amount of special forces to use, and I put them all by accident in BMPs. Or some kind of armored wheeled vehicle, and so when the game started, I wasn't able to execute that plan. But that's something for another day. Excuse me. It's a 20-minute game, and let's see what he's got here. A bunch of Bradleys. I don't even know what some of these are. I gotta learn some of these units. Infantry. The Hans-Peter Schnitzel. I have no idea what a Hans-Peter Schnitzel is, but we will find out, I guess. Got the Hemmet, the AML-60s, some mortar carriers. You'll see more of those later on. A couple of transport helicopters. I'm not really sure what he's planning to do here. Now, normally what I do on this map is every time I try and advance beyond the midway point, I usually regret it. I get crushed. So when I'm playing this side, I usually send one group, obviously, to secure Foxtrot. And I like to put a second group up in Delta. I like to put some special forces in this farm building here, and some other guys in the woods, and I usually like some AA up here too, just to kind of round things off. And lately I've been experimenting with putting some ATGM launchers, like these guys, the Conkers, in these tree lines right here, and maybe a scout vehicle over here. And again, like I said, I'm very new at this game. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of learning as I go. So if you long-time experienced tacticians out there have any advice, I would please, I'd be glad to hear it. Please post it in the, leave a comment and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Now, the genius that I am, I forgot to buy scout vehicles, which is a bad thing. I've got this Mi-28 Havoc here. I don't even have a wheeled scout vehicle right now. Now, I'm very bad with my Havocs. They're incredibly powerful. They can lay out so much damage, but I always get them into trouble, and I end up overextending myself. You'll probably see some of that here. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit so we can get past the basic setup. See, Group 1 is going to Foxtrot, and Group 2 is trying to get into Delta and secure it and get around it as well. And this is the first time I'm actually going to really be able to see what he's doing, too. So this is educational for me as well. Alright, so he's bringing a whole bunch of stuff over here to Bravo. He's got anti-aircraft chaparrals. He likes his Bradleys. He really likes his Bradleys. Got some tanks, some AMXs. I didn't even know what AMX tanks existed since until I played World of Tanks. Oh, and he abandoned Alpha. He moved everything over to Charlie. It makes me wonder why he didn't get rid of his FOB to get more points. Maybe he wanted to just do that later. Alright, so he's only got one reinforcement vector. I can't believe I didn't notice that. And, alright, so he's got me on points to start. I'm glad I didn't know that in the middle of the game. Might have been a little bit more nervous. I'm not sure what his scout vehicles are. Boy, he really does love those Bradleys. Got some riflemen out there. And what are those? Those are stupid blue on green AML-60s. I think those are mortar guys. Yeah, mortars. And as you can see, I've got my special forces, my VP ZHs or U's or whatever the hell they are, which are my ZUs, my favorite special forces for Pact. I've got them in the building. I've got a bunch of Conquerors guarding the road, some T-62s over here. I finally get an armored recon vehicle. I believe I'm going to set it up down the middle, a little bit off to the side, and see what's what over there. Alright, he's bringing in some Pattons, some more recon, transport helicopters. And what the hell are these guys? Like special forces or something? Yeah, they're just hanging out in the woods. I don't know, maybe he had some grand idea of swinging around and trying to pay a visit to my base. I don't know. Alright, and I finally get an MI2, which is a fantastic scout helicopter. It's pretty cheap, too. I think it's like 65 points. Alright, so you're seeing something that it becomes kind of a theme on this map, is lines being drawn between this forest and this row of trees over here. Now, like I said before, every time I've pushed out, I'm not good enough on offense as a player to really go out and kick ass and take names in fortified positions. So every time I tend to attack beyond the Delta Echo line, I tend to get punished. What the hell's he got? He's got some more special forces over here as well. That sneaky little bastard. And I apparently don't see them with my recon helicopter because they're special. So what I've been doing lately is just trying to hold the line. Hold this line, play tactically, play well, get my kills when I can without losing too much and win on points. Even if it means I don't totally crush him, don't take his positions, and don't go over the 1,500 point threshold, which is what this game is set at right now. I just want to win. I don't care if I win on like a technicality, with time running out. I'm just not experienced enough to lead successful charges. I must always take it in the face. Okay, he takes a shot, I think, of my MI2 with whatever the hell this is. Anti-aircraft helicopter. Damn, those are nifty. When they hit, I guess. Alright, so I got my Shilkas over here, and I'm thinking about repositioning them at this point, because I don't really like this guy hanging out here. I mean, that ain't cool. He's pulling in tons of recon. I remember that. Just seeing no matter how many recons I thought I destroyed, there always seem to be more of them. And his Pattons are just sort of chilling here, wants to make sure that I don't come up and just start camping his resupply vector. Those special forces are taking the long way around. Got some Kolos up here. Alright. Well, my Conquerors see his armored recon, and they start opening up with their ATGMs. 2 lines of them. The Conquerors are great because they have a really, really long really long range on those missiles. So that's one scout vehicle down, and I'm trying to move my Shilkas up to take care of this helicopter, which is flying at low altitude. I need to figure out what my keybinds are too, because I want. Oh, yeah, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Good night, honey. Not bad. Alright, so his AA is, his anti-aircraft helicopter is taken out, his scout vehicle is taken out. I'm up 105 in points. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, especially since this guy's level 76 and I'm 14. But then the bastard comes out with these freaking AML-60 mortars, which are great. For NATO, they're a fantastic unit. They're fast, they're accurate, and now my Shilkas are all just like, we gotta get the hell out of here. Kalachuk is all freaked out. And Kursky's all, we're gonna live, we gotta live. And Kalachuk's like, no, get to the tree line fast. Pardon me. Amateur dramatics. I've got my coffee. It's okay. Poor bastards. Alright, so I'm pissed off now. I want that AML 60. I want them dead. I want them dead. I want their families dead. And so I bring up my scout helicopter to try and find them. And of course I bring up my Havoc. I don't know how to use Havocs. I should not be given them. They should not be, command should not issue them to me. Because when they do, stuff like this happens. Pull in, and the rifleman squad opens up on my Havoc and causes some severe problems, along with the Chaparral. I see them briefly, but I can't get a shot off at them, and they're routed, and just bad things happen. And, oh, right above the swamp. Oh, not good. And good night. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Those damn chaparrals. Hardly knew ye. Alright, so at this point I'm trying to think about taking over golf because it's right there. I've got this area pretty well secured, mortars aside. And I've had people, I've played games before where I've used mortars, or not mortars, but artillery, and I've had people go like, artillery, especially if I win, and you know, like somehow by using all the tools at my disposal, you know, the win didn't really count, and yeah, screw that, you guys, you know, hell with it. Artillery works, it's great, and it's not unbeatable either. It is freaking annoying though because he's got a good scout here. Let's see what his Bradleys can see here. Well, he can't see, but he can see my Shilkas there and my Conkers, and he's pretty proactive with changing his mortar shots, his mortar targets. And yeah, he sees my Shilkas. I've got 4 mortar rounds incoming, and poor Kursky and Kowalchuk are all like they're freaking out again. I got to move them. It's bad news. It's bad news, and it's freaking annoying. Now, I totally missed this over here. Special Forces attack my Shilkas. I moved some up just because I wanted to secure this place from air attack. I'm glad I brought those tanks along, too. I totally didn't even realize this was happening in this game. I don't even know why my TE-62s... Okay, now they're firing. Okay, yeah. High explosive shells are nice. That was fortunate. So now I'm trying to secure golf. And, oh god, and he's peppering me. I had to pull those 4 Conkers back. He's peppering me with more of these mortars. Oh, he had 8 mortars going. Damn. I noticed that, believe me. Alright. So I have an armored recon, he has an armored recon, and we start exchanging shots along these tree lines here. Fortunately, I got lucky with mine. 1 less armored recon. And we're about even in points. He's got 210, I've got 215. Could go either way. 8 minutes left. And again with the mortars. That armored recon apparently saw just enough of my tanks and my Conkers and my Kolos that he was able to get some good shots off on him. Now, are these special forces still on the move? I think he probably forgot about them. That's a long hike to make. Unfortunately, they're running out of ammunition. But it's a helicopter. Okay, no, it's not a supply helicopter. I don't see a Chinook or anything like that. He's bringing in a Hemet, though, so, or Hempt, or however you pronounce that. But so neither of us are making strong movements across the Delta Echo line. I mean, we're toying around with it. We're playing around with it. He's got some troops down here. He's got some armored, like armored troop carriers, but there's no big thrust. We're just sort of plinking at each other. And there's a good reason for that. You know, the first person who makes a bold move is going to have a lot of fire to eat. I mean, I blew up, what, 2-3 of his armored recons. I shot down a helicopter. When I flew my Havoc over there, it lasted about 4 seconds. You know, it's we have good reason to not want to cross this divide here. He's got a very well defended Bravo sector, and I start bringing in a little bit more air defense, just because I'm paranoid about air defense. I'm bringing in the buck. I believe I'm trying to plant it over here because I don't want to just leave it to my shilkas, and the range on them is just amazing. And of course he's harassing my conkers again. So I have to keep moving my units out of sight, trying to take out any recon that he has. He's got these recon troops now, which he's moving towards this forest square. And I kind of get this stupid idea to move up my shilkas. I want to try and catch him out in the open, but that's not really a bright idea. Now, I don't think he knows I have recon in this building, or special forces in this building. I think he's shooting at my Scott personnel carriers. So I move them back. Yeah, now, and he killed one, and now he's got mortars coming in from Bravo as well. So he's being a real douche with those. But again, I don't blame him. Fair's fair. And I might have ordered 3 more shilkas by mistake. I think I overdid it a little bit. I might have just wanted to replace these guys because they're running low on gas. Although if I really cared, I probably should have just brought a Kolos out there. God, he really wants those transports dead. They're not even that great, transports, but you gotta get your points where you can. Okay, and so I brought up a command armor here in the meantime. I've secured this sector. So I've got 3 sectors now. I'm now making more points than he is. And boy, let me tell you, 3 additional reinforcements every tick. You notice that. You really notice that. Most of my short games, at least, I've been content with 2. But, God, 3 makes a big freaking difference. Start bringing in some more soldiers. Just sort of gearing up. Yeah, and these guys are here. They're not going to get dislodged, and they must have really good. Well, you think they would have good line of sight, but he can't see into golf with them at all. I guess he's just blind firing, guessing. See how good his guesses are. Good enough to make my conkers move back. He knows my shilkas are there, but he doesn't really care. And we only have 4 minutes left in this game. And he's up on me by about 20 points. Now, right now, I'm getting a little pissed off at these mortars. And so I decided to start bringing in artillery of my own. And I can actually afford it now that I have golf. And so I start pulling them in. I don't know how they got past his special forces here. That is so weird. I mean, I could totally see what he was trying to do, but I don't know why they didn't open fire. That would have made a huge difference. I'd be pissed if I was him. Now he's got Echo though, and so he has more points than me again. And he's doing some damage. He's finally taking out these shilkas. He's doing more than just rattling them. He's actually getting a few kills. He got another one right there. So he's got me on reinforcement points. He's got me on victory points so far. And I'm not even looking at the time right now. I'm totally oblivious to it. Which I guess is good because it kept me from panicking. But I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with this situation. The only thing I can really think to do to come back right now is use my artillery because he's not going to move up. Whoa, that was weird. We still rolling? Alright. He's not going to move up. I'm not going to move up. Sorry about that. I don't know why that flashed there. So the only way we're going to win this thing is by just slinging shells at each other and trying to do the most amount of damage. And so I start doing my thing. I only have a vague idea where he is. I only look for where the shells are appearing from. And I only have 1 piece of artillery right now, as opposed to his 4. But I got Braun worried, and he's forced to move them. And while they're moving, they're not firing. So, you know, yay me. Alright. I've got 2 here now, and a 3rd on the way. And I don't know where these guys are going, but you know, that sure worked out for me. And now I'm moving some Kolos in to try and keep them resupplied with ammo. Still haven't done any damage, but I forced him to move. And he's 95 points ahead of me now, so I need to get really lucky here if I don't want to lose this thing. And he also moved his other mortar team up, and he's got a whole bunch of other guys here too. Saracens, soldiers, whole 9 yards. Alright, moving up the third. And I'm just shelling that area. I don't know. Okay, and all he did was move them a little bit back and diagonally. I'm moving in some tanks. I wouldn't have, if I knew there was a minute 30 left in this game, I would not have brought those tanks in. It's amazing in an RTS how much you have to keep track of. But one of the reasons I like this game too is you're constantly doing things, but it's definitely more, it's less frantic than, say, StarCraft or Command and Conquer. I really like the overall strategic element with light tactical elements in it as well. Yeah, I'm just scaring his guys, but not doing too much. Moving in some more Conquers. Again, oh yeah, I want to reinforce this little area because my scout saw there were some guys over here and he's worried about a push. Now he starts firing mortars out and I have to retaliate. And I just start laying waste to this one area. And it was wonderful playing the game, seeing all those points just pop right up out of that little area of forest. Now I've almost caught up with him on points. Oh, and with 15 seconds to go, it's very close. He has to pull back. Do I get another barrage off? I don't think I do. And that's the game right there. A difference of 15 points. And it was a draw. And not the most exciting game out there. Sure, not a lot happened. You know, we both secured our own side of that divide. We both fired some artillery back and forth. And it ended up in a draw. But it was interesting to me just to sort of see the dynamics of that and how even someone who is, I don't know, 50, 60 levels ahead of me still plays a little cagey in that situation. What I need to do, among other things, is study good breakthrough tactics. I need to, you know, talk to players who really know what they're doing in that regard, because I can build up a pretty strong defensive line that's a hard nut to crack. But as far as, you know, using a hammer instead of being an anvil, that's something I still struggle with. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you have any tips or just want to talk about Wargame or anything else, leave me a comment. Please rate, subscribe. I love seeing activity on my channel and knowing that people are not only watching but enjoying my videos. And until next time, take it easy.